Let's now move on to Egypt, where mounting economic pressures could possibly force the North African country to review a multi-billion-dollar deal with the International Monetary Fund. Egypt's President Abdel Fattah Al-Sisi warned that Cairo may have to re-evaluate its $8 billion program with the IMF if international institutions fail to take into account the extraordinary regional challenges that the country was facing. Speaking at the Global Congress on Population Health and Human Development in Cairo, President Al-Sisi said that if these challenges will make us put unbearable pressure on the public, then the situation must be reviewed with the IMF. The Egyptian leader's comments reflect the difficult balance the government has to strike in complying with pledges for fiscal discipline while avoiding upsetting a population grappling with price increases that have far outstripped most growth in salaries. But what is the economic program that Egypt agreed to with the IMF, and how has it impacted the people? Let's understand. Egypt had signed an $8 billion financial support package with the IMF in March of this year. The package was an extension of a 2022 $3 billion program that the government had signed after its economic woes worsened owing to the years of government austerity, the coronavirus pandemic, and the Russia-Ukraine war. For $8 billion assistance, the IMF demanded that there should be a better balance between the public and private sector. The IMF wanted the Egyptian government to enhance competition and to allow a greater role for private sector in driving economic growth. The program remains centered around three key goals to ensure macroeconomic stability in Egypt. Now, the first goal is to shift towards a flexible exchange rate system. Now, in such a sort of system, exchange rate is determined by the market forces of demand and supply. With this, the IMF was aiming to make Egypt's economy more adjustable to external shocks. The second goal entailed the government to tighten its monetary and fiscal policy. The aim behind this was to reduce the inflation and to maintain Egypt's debt sustainability. The third goal of the program was to undertake targeted budget support to vulnerable households, and this was aimed at protecting households with less income from high inflation that can hit purchasing power. But implementing such structural reforms was coming at a rough time for Egypt. Economic struggles had already worsened. And now, what exactly was this crisis, and how does Egypt's economy function? Let's take a look. Now, the Egyptian economy has been entirely reliant on imports. Its foreign debt has ballooned in recent months. Egypt's currency has undergone several devaluations, leading to a rise in inflation. And an entrenched military dominance has meant that there is a lack of investments and competition. Moreover, an ongoing war in West Asia has meant prices climb further. But why is that so? Now, Egypt controls the Suez Canal, which connects the Red Sea to the Mediterranean Sea and is an important shipping route between Asia and Europe. The Houthis have been attacking the shipping traffic moving through that route since the beginning of the Gaza war in solidarity with the Palestinians. Now, the recurring attacks in the Red Sea forced companies to reroute their ships through other regions. This diversion has caused the revenue to fall, and this to $870 million in the second quarter of 2024 from $2.54 billion a year earlier. In addition, the war has also hurt Egypt's tourism industry. President Al-Sisi on Sunday has exclaimed that the country had lost $6 to $7 billion in revenue in the last 7 to 10 months, and this could further continue for another year. And this means the local population, which has been suffering for the past 2 years, might continue to face economic pressures. Prices for many staple food items have risen faster than usual. For instance, the government raised the prices of subsidized bread by 300% in June. The prices of fuel have also increased. On Friday, the government raised prices on a wide range of fuel products for the third time this year. Diesel and gasoline prices have increased by 11% to 17%. Moreover, reports suggest as many as 60% of Egypt's 106 million citizens are estimated to be below or close to the poverty line. While Egypt has tried to draw in support from the EU, the World Bank, its allies in the Gulf, as well as BRICS nations, the crisis continues to persist. Although officials from the government are expected to attend IMF and World Bank's annual meetings in Washington this week, there is no clear picture of how long this economic crisis would take to resolve.
Firstpost decodes the U.S. election. Explains how America chooses its president. Your primer on the race to the White House. Everything you need to know about how America votes and its global implications. U.S. Election Explained. Every Monday and Thursday only on Firstpost.